language focus. The third conditional. The special cases of the third conditional. The negation of the third conditional. The third conditional. The third conditional is used when we want to express impossible situations, or when we regret about things that happened in the past, as in the following examples. If you had been more careful, you wouldn't have lost your book. So, the meaning of the sentence is completely the opposite. It means that this person weren't careful, so he lost his book. If the team had played well, it might have won the match. So, this sentence means the team wasn't well, so it didn't win the match. So, the third conditional, as we said before, it's used to express impossible situations in the past, to regret about things that happened or didn't happen in the past. And there is a third example. She would have passed the exam if she had studied well. The sentence here means she didn't study well, so she didn't pass the exam. We can deduce that the third conditional is always followed by past perfect and then would have plus the past participle. The special cases of the third conditional. 1. We can use in case of or in the event of followed by noun or a gerund to equal if, as in the following example. She would have passed the exam if she had studied well. We can say, in case of studying well, she would have passed the exam. Or, in case of her hard study, she would have passed the exam. Two. We can use had to equal if, but we should put only one had in the sentence. So, the word had has two functions, as in the following example. If the team had played well, it might have won the match. When we want to start our sentence with had, we say, had the team played well, it might have won the match. But we shouldn't say, had the team had played well. It's wrong. We should use only one had in the sentence, as it has a double function. It works as a helping verb for the past perfect, and it has the same function of if. Now, we came to the negation of if in the third conditional. We already know that we can negate if using not. As we say, if the team had played well, it would have won the match. When we want to make the sentence negative, we say, if the team hadn't played badly, it wouldn't have lost the match. A second way to negate if is to use unless, which equals if not. As we say, unless the team had played badly, it wouldn't have lost the match. A third way to negate if in the third conditional is to use without or but for, followed by a noun or a gerund. Without playing badly, the team wouldn't have lost the match. But for bad playing, the team wouldn't have lost the match. And the last way to negate if is to use if it hadn't been for, followed by a noun or a gerund. If it hadn't been for playing badly, the team wouldn't have lost the match. But this structure is not usually used. And we can use a noun after this structure or rule in the sentence. If it hadn't been for bad playing, the team wouldn't have lost the match. And now we came to the questions. Rewrite the following sentences using the word in brackets to give the same meaning. 1. His family had financial problems. He left school. Use if. If his family hadn't had financial problems, he wouldn't have left school. 2. He didn't have an umbrella. Therefore, he got wet in the rain. Start your sentence with had. Had he had an umbrella, he wouldn't have got wet in the rain. 3. She lost her tennis match because she didn't have enough practice. Use if. She would have won her tennis match if she had practiced enough. 4. He didn't work hard. Perhaps that's why he failed. Use if. If he had worked hard, he wouldn't have failed. 5. The flat was very expensive, so they didn't buy it. Start your sentence with unless. Unless the flat had been expensive, they would have bought it. Now, choose the correct answer. I wouldn't have reached this stage unless she helped, had helped, was helped, or would help me. 2. If you hadn't spent, didn't spend, don't spend, wouldn't spend a long time in the sun, you wouldn't have got burnt. 3. If she hadn't learned how to type, she wouldn't have written, will write, would have written, would write so many books. 4. If he has got up, would get up, or had got up earlier, he would have caught the first plane. 5. He wouldn't, won't, can't, or may not have gone to the hospital if he hadn't been injured? Now, check your answers. I wouldn't have reached this stage unless she had helped me. If you hadn't spent a long time in the sun, you wouldn't have got burnt. If she hadn't learned how to type, she wouldn't have written so many books. If he had got up earlier, he would have caught the first plane. He wouldn't have gone to hospital if he hadn't been injured. Thanks for listening. With نفهم, learn easily and simply.